Welcome to the fourth Q Simulator podcast. I'm your host, MicrowaveGaming.
And I am your co-host, GameAddict.
Everybody, we all love GameAddicts, dude. We had a great night last night playing Fortnite live on stream. We got some crazy support.
Oh, yeah.
Still have a head spinning after all that stuff, man. The guys broke me, so. But we have some juicy topics today. We have some leaks that happened that are possible that we don't know for sure, but they look quite legit.
They look really legit, let's be honest.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Ubisoft did it on purpose.
You think so?
I don't know, but maybe we'll get into that. Another few things we'll be talking about: the lightning optimization, map optimization, and the new character skin optimizations, all coming out relatively soon. The 24-hour booster, a little bug that we were told about, and something that GameAddicts noticed that we haven't heard about lately. And he's going to be digging that up because he's been digging through, seeing what people have been promising us, and we haven't heard anything about it so far. So really excited to hear about that. Everything that you hear will be in the comments below. If I mention a YouTuber or a streamer or somebody, I will put the comments, I will put it in the description below. You can look it up and see for yourself. So with that, we're going to start with the juiciest topic today. The one that I've been like waiting for, ever since Operation Health was announced. We're going to talk about the new operator leaks. Whoa, right? Some big stuff, man.
That's really big, man. We haven't had a proper leak since, what's that? It was season 3, and those were the season 4 operators.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. Yeah, that was the season 4 operators. Yeah, it's been that long. Has it been that long?
It really has. And what is that? That's 6 or 7 months, maybe 8 months. We're talking about right there.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's almost been, 3/4 of a year, and we've had the last 3 or 4 months, right, without even any new content, really.
Yeah,
so this is huge.
It's been quiet on the Western Front, hasn't it? It's not really.
Yeah,
haven't really heard anything about it, dude. Jesus, so 6 months. It's been quite a quite a journey. I know the content creators out there have been suffering, trying to get something new. Everything's more slap more red arrows on it, more clickbait, because we're all doing the same thing over and over again. Like,
right? Yes, it's been like a drought, a content drought, you could say, for a lot of people. Maybe that shows who's the clickbaity ones and who's the ones who you're really going there to see.
Right.
But it's
staying true to their nature.
Yes, it's been rough, though, to say the least. So this is fucking huge news, man. I was kind of blown away when I saw it.
It's been very exciting. So today we got 3 pictures, actually. One very interesting. The other 2 just looking at the other operators.
Yeah.
One appears to be one of the Polish operators, which is a female. Really white, extremely white. Probably would blend into the snow. Like almost albino.
I mean, there's a little bit of, pinkness to her, but a
little bit.
She's pretty damn white. I mean, but come on, you're the Polish operator.
True.
I just kind of expect you to be white. It's not anything that there's no culture around the world, but it is a majority white country.
Yeah, but I mean that's really white.
Yeah, no, she's pale. She needs to get some sun. But it's really exciting because I think if I'm remembering what the leak, if in this leak she's an attacker.
Yes. Word is some rumors through some of my friends, and what we see on Reddit. It could be concussion grenades, stuff such as 9-bangers. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like flash bangs on crack, pretty much. Fuck up every part of your senses, really mess you up. So I think that's supposed to be an attacker. So
Right.
yeah, it is.
That would make sense. Okay.
And no one knows her name. And then we got another leak of a female operator. This is one of the Hong Kong operators. Word is her name is Ying. 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 She's a female operator. And something to the fact she has dazzler grenades that go through walls and blinding. So I'm not...
They go through walls.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. Maybe... That's very interesting because I wonder how that would work. Would it throw through the walls? Like, let's say, you know, like it hits it, it just keeps going right through it, right? So basically, it wouldn't go through reinforcements because that would be just retarded or overpowered.
Right.
Actually, it wouldn't even be that big of a deal.
Having Hibana.
Right. So I would definitely say it goes through drywall and floors, which is very interesting because you don't really need a line of sight. You could just toss it into a room and easily, you know, frag it out, clear the room, and see what happens. I wonder if it's going to go through objects and stuff too. Like now, it's not known if the grenade itself or the dazzler grenade goes through the wall, like it hits the wall, goes through it, or the flash itself goes through. I don't see how the flash itself would actually.
Yeah, I don't think the flash could. No, it doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, not to the, like, if you're gonna have a competitive game, if suddenly an entire wall just gets null and void to a disabling effect, I mean that's really overpowered. You would what? Are we gonna have a kind of a sunscreen operator after this who's gonna protect you from the brightness?
Well, I don't know. She definitely needs some brightness by the. Oh, that's the other one. Well,
no, that's the other one.
That's the other one. That's the other one. Either way, needs some love.
Yeah.
So that's the Hong Kong operators. Well, the female, the male, no one knows the name of. But I heard through one of my friends.
Wouldn't his code name? Isn't that code name Caltrop?
Caltrop. Yep, that it could be, but that also could be. Well, you got to think about like. Most of the operators, their names aren't really like, I guess Sledge is Sledgehammer. Yeah, so maybe. But me and Thatcher and EMP grenades, I don't know. Maybe that was just the name of the name of the gadget, and then they use that name of the gadget as the name of the character, but they haven't finalized the name of the character yet, you know?
Right. No, yeah, exactly. That's why I just say code name Caltrop, because
until they
just until they release it. But what there was something else with was it the Polish operator that they showed?
We're gonna get that last. You talking about the weapon accessory?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. We're gonna get to that. That's probably the best part of this whole thing. The male operator, one of my friends knows somebody. Now this is all rumor and conjecture. Everything we've said so far is rumor and conjecture. Nothing is set in stone until Ubisoft says it. Okay, everything is just rumor mill. Okay, getting some hype up for the stuff too, which is nice. Kind of hear that it's they're poison darts inside the caltropes, and they do damage over time. And the only way to get them out is an animation. There's an animation, you hold a button and you pull them out of your legs. So you would actually have to stop. So let's say you're going into a room and they're on the floor, then you would actually have to stop in the middle or go back. It's like barbed wire. You slightly step in barbed wire and make some noise, and you have to get out of the barbed wire. Well, it's going to be kind of like that, where you step into the caltropes, they sting you a little bit, then you have to pull back to pull them out and hopefully destroy them. I don't know if you're going to be able to destroy them. Nobody knows, but that's just kind of the rumor. And what's crazy is I did a video, and I'm going to kind of shamelessly plug in here. I did a video 2016, like I think it was March of 2016. And I said one of the operators should have a poison dart trap that drops poison darts on your head, and they do damage over time. Now, that's insane. Okay, now that to me is insane. Okay, now it's kind of the same mentality, not really, but kind of. But it's insane that
very, very similar.
Yeah, but it's insane. A year and a half later down the road, that's a possibility and I thought of this idea like of March or April of 2016, right? For the Brazilian operators, that's who I suggested that comes out, because that way it alerts the enemy that somebody's over here. You can hear them grunting and stuff like that, so they're pushing. You block off an area. That's insane to me. That's insane to me that's a possibility. Maybe I've got it on the head, which I kind of did some other operators. But anyway, shameless plug. Let's talk about what you were mentioning before. All right, that third picture, the one that gives everybody boners, because I know if you're a pistol user, you're gonna love it. So go ahead, tell us what you saw, man.
Yeah, man. I know that I'm super kind of excited for this, because something that should have been brought into this game, since this is trying to be a super tactical, super realistic game, but we have a sight for the new operator's pistol, at least what we assume is this new operator's pistol. And it looks like a little red dot or a reflex sight.
Yep, I think it's a reflex sight, which has been needed for ages, I would say.
Now, do you think if this is true, if this is something that will be confirmed, do you think that is something that they're going to be adding to multiple pistols in this game? Is it going to be something that they're going to be coding for everything?
So basically, you're asking, do you think it's going to be operator specific or everybody gets, or weapon specific? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I think that it's going to be along the lines of how they introduced claymores. Everybody got certain claymores. I think that if the weapon has a rail on top, or that the weapons can't have, like the revolver can't obviously have it. I guess it can actually. No, it can. That's right. So I guess everything can have it. Yeah, every single pistol can have it. I think that everyone will get it. I think it'll be an open thing. I think it's going to be one of their cornerstones of the game. And I'm definitely seeing a lot of memeing going to be happening soon, especially with the pistols. Could you imagine the Deagle videos, the Magnum videos, the Deagle Aces with the new sights, man?
Dude, I can only imagine all the content that would come out of that.
I'm pretty excited about all that. I think it's going to be fantastic. It was the Polish female operator in kid's bedroom of house. I believe that was it, or was it not? Where was that room?
I honestly was so excited about the sight, about the reflex. I didn't even pay attention to the background. I was so focused on it. But I mean, that's kind of like how deprived we are of content right now. I think that's a really great not explanation, but an example is like, we are so hard over this one little site because it could completely change how the secondaries are used in this game.
Right. Because it's right now the secondaries are kind of like a meh, like this is okay. Like, yeah, the Deagle's great. It does a lot of damage. It could two-shot the Blackbeard shield. I mean, by the time you're pretty much dead anyways, even if you can land the shots because it's so big and bulky. But the pistols themselves are it's so difficult to aim with because it takes up so much of your screen. You can't really focus, and you're just kind of hoping you're gonna hit them, right? They're not really that accurate. So I'm excited that they're gonna be doing that. I don't know if Ubisoft is leaking this because the images that we see are very sharp, very clear.
They are. They're very high quality.
They're very high quality close-up pictures of the operators. Now, this also comes the same exact day that the professional and some of the content creators were testing the new operators.
I saw that on Twitter today. Yeah.
Now, we don't know if they possibly snapped the screenshots, or we don't know. Nobody knows. That's kind of a rumor. Obviously, it's nothing set in stone. But another rumor is that Ubisoft is slowly leaking the stuff because to build hype around the game, in an unprofessional kind of way of doing things. Like on 4chan and stuff. Because I mean, that's kind of where we've been getting most of it. This usually one or two people go on 4chan. One of the sections they talk about it. And they release some of the weapons and stuff. So we kind of know what the Hong Kong operators are going to be, but we don't know for sure. But the Poland operator and that reflex sight is definitely very nice. But we do know that the Polish operator is going to be releasing with the Hong Kong operators, right? Is that correct?
Yes, yes, it should be. From what I understand, from what I've been told through the rumor mill and through people I know, it should be this attacker, this female with this awesome reflex sight. So right, so we're gonna get the 2 Hong Kong, and then we should be getting this bonus third one as well. So
I wonder how that's
our
going to affect
patience
the
is
meta.
being rewarded. Now, I was curious about that as well, because we haven't seen an off-balance addition to this game before. You know, everything's usually balanced. We have an attacker, and then there's usually somebody to balance that attacker on defense, and then vice versa.
Right.
And you know, it's usually kind of a little offset by season. So we had Cav, and then 2 seasons later, we got Jackal to be that tracker to try and find her. Frost, and then we had Capitao to try and well, when he had nades, to get rid of traps and to push people out of places. So we've always had this kind of like back and forth between operators. So to have this new season where we're gonna have 3 will be so interesting. Yeah, because what's it gonna do to that meta? Like you said,
it is going to shake it up definitely, because we don't know if one's going to be counteracting the other or vice versa. You know, roamer and then anti-roamer. We don't know how that's going to look. But we do know that the next possible map is going to be called Theme Park, because that was dug up. Actually, wasn't even data mined. It was accidentally released for the TTS, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So I wonder what that's going to look like. Now, I read the book, the Rainbow Six book by Tom Clancy, the kind of thing that started all this. There was a park. Forget where it was. It definitely wasn't Hong Kong. I don't know exactly where it was, but it was a theme park, and in the middle there was a castle, and in this castle they had like some of the control centers, all the cameras and stuff like that, and then they had like 2 sniper outposts, and like this whole story took place on the castle. They took hostages. They had an operator that slapped this little sound thing on windows, and he can hear and see what people were on the other side, like kind of like a heartbeat sensor, but like an audio heartbeat sensor. So he would hit it on the window or the wall, and then he would just leave, and he would give that information to this Rainbow Six, the leader, John, and he would determine, okay, there's an enemy over here. We can kind of see him, kind of like an echo, if you will, like a ultrasound kind of a thing going on. And then they would assault the building using that. But also in the books there was the heartbeat sensor, but they had like a giant map one. But there's a lot of other stuff that they could be doing. But I think that's a specific moment, because in that book, that one guy, that one operator, he had the audio cue and he took down the power. So there was no lights or no nothing. Now, is that going to be a thing that we see later on? I don't know. But that's kind of cool because that was in the book. That was in the book.
Right.
And this theme park, if they go about it the same way, is in the book. I don't believe in coincidences.
It's based off of it, right?
It's
heavily inspired.
Right. It definitely could be. So I think that's pretty neat little feature that they might be adding. The leaks are going to be happening more and more. We don't know if Ubisoft is doing it. We don't know anything. It could be a person at Ubisoft. It could be somebody making this up. We don't know. This is all rumor. Everything that we're talking about so far is rumor. Not one thing has been confirmed by Ubisoft. None. They're not touching it. Not even touching the subject right now. Because I follow is very smart. I follow all the people for Ubisoft, and they haven't said a word about it. So they're staying far away from it. They're staying very far away from it. But one thing that they have confirmed on is the lighting optimization. Would you like to talk about that and let everybody know what that is? What's going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, so basically over the next course of the year, and it's going to take an entire year for them to do this, which is understandable. We're going to be seeing optimization on maps where they're going to be getting reworked. So starting out with the most memory-intensive map, which is Cafe, they're going to be adding some stuff, redoing the lighting system. they're going to be really kind of streamlining it to make it more optimized. So it's actually going to look much better. It's going to look like an HDR photo almost, at least from what I've taken away from it.
Right.
You know, people are like, oh, well, you know, why are they starting with the most heavy optimized map? Why not start with one of the more popular ones? Well, it's all about time, really. If they can crank out the biggest one first, it'll be much faster over that next year. And so maybe it may take 6 months or 7 months, 8 months, who knows, really. But once this starts, once this process rolls out, not only is it good for us currently, it helps them develop Rainbow Six Siege 2 in however many years they're going to be doing that. So while that may not be in the immediate horizon, finding ways to optimize these maps and these lighting systems now is going to be crucial for everything about this game later in development.
Now, do you think they'll be doing a Siege 2? I mean, there's so much in this game.
Yeah, there is so much in this game. And if not a Siege 2, they may update it. I mean, I know you can heavily update your engine, but you know, we've seen iterations of, say, Counter-Strike through their different engines. They do constantly update that game. It does have a lifespan and a cycle on it. And same with a game like Dota. You know, that was on an older engine for a decade before they finally updated it.
Right.
It really just comes down to time, I think. Time and money, and then how popular it gets, right? If there's no following for it, we'll never see it happen.
Well, then they would just redo the operators. I mean, because I don't know, like it would. I don't really see Siege 2 happening for like another 15 years. But I get what you're saying. It's not going to be happening now, anyways. But I guess you're right. That Siege 2 is possible. You know, way later on down the road. That is going to be kind of cool to see. But like you said, it is paving the path. You know, looking at the before and after pictures of the optimization for the map optimization lighting, it looks like everything is more has more contrast to it. Everything is bolder. The lighting itself is not as smooth. It's the shadows are really nice. And looking outside, you're not looking into, you know, God's asshole, right? It's this bright light. Or if you're looking inside, it's not just completely dark, right? And I get why they're trying to do that at the beginning, because, I mean, that's kind of how it works, kind of, in the real world. Like, you look outside, it's really bright, you know? But some of these things, like, especially on the console, man, since they can't change their settings, like, God, it is really bright. Like, you can't see anything.
Right.
Like,
and that bloom drowns it all out on top of that.
Yep. So it looks like they're going to be redoing that, revisiting that, and that's great because that does increase the plays. It changes how people play the game. Normally, you don't really hang on a window unless you're Blackbeard. On PC, you can lower the settings to the way you want to see things. But on console, you're kind of SOL. That's what you get. Now, another thing that I've kind of seen rumblings in, but I haven't really seen be like talked about, is the fact that characters glow. They glow.
Yes, I actually experienced that, and I've gotten comments sometimes in my YouTube videos, and they say, "How do you get your system to do that?"
Right.
And honestly, I didn't do anything. It's just
you're pretty much lowering the settings on the PC. Now, I don't know if you could do it on, and that's why like all these little videos of like hiding spots and like hiding in shadows work on console. They don't work on the PC because everything is brighter.
Right.
The PC players adjust the way they want to play. They adjust their monitors. They adjust the graphics cards, their settings. They adjust everything to help them get better and see the enemy easier. So that's why you will see people glowing. But I would like to see that changed. There's really no rumblings about it. We did just get something talking about the character skin optimization, but nothing really being addressed about people glowing. So if you're inside like a Jaeger, you're spawn peeking, it is a lot easier to see because for some reason people are glowing way more on the outside, you know, and it's like, well, what the heck, Ubisoft, you know what I mean? I would like that change, but along the same lines, they just dropped it. What, today? I believe was this character skin thing. Do you want to talk about that?
I mean, so it looks like they're really kind of fine-tuning the skins along with the maps, right? So the maps, they're kind of redoing lighting, they're updating textures, they're kind of adding things, they're making it seem tighter. Same thing with these skins. Many people have noticed throughout Ubisoft's tenor with Rainbow Six that the skins after they're released seem to lose their pristine edge. They seem to degrade. So they're going back through all of these skins and kind of reapplying the textures to them. They're going to rebake the textures onto them to give us a better looking skin, and that's exciting, man. Because
I don't know, man.
I didn't buy some of these things to be like, man, I hope they look like shit in a month. Like, I love these. Right, I love to wear these things because it makes you stand out as a different looking operator in a way. So I like that they're fixing it.
Yeah. So apparently, what's kind of been happening is that every single operator has their own number for like patterns and stuff. Like they have a size of which they can use. Now some operators take more than the others, and that was making some games crash. I've never experienced that, but I guess sometimes it was just too much for the game to handle, so the shit would just crash. And I'm looking at the before and after pictures, and the only one that I see that really kind of stands out, like they had the before and after of the Thermite. The emblem looks a little bit better. It doesn't look like it's kind of mashed. It kind of looks raised, but everything else looks worse, in my opinion. You have the before of Sledge. Like everything on the before picture looks way better to me than the after. All the ridges.
See, I would argue the hat there.
The hat is brighter. I like it, and the other one looks washed out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that the water does, or I'm sorry, it looks like it has a watercolor effect, is what I was going to say. It looks like it's washed out. But the actual texture on it is actually much deeper from what I can tell. When we look at the before, it does look a little bit more pixelated now. Again, that honestly looks like it's from a lower setting to a higher setting PC. That's really all it looks like to me. But if this is something that across the board on a low setting is going to make it look like a better setting, then, you know, I'm down for that. I'm happy for it.
I don't know, man. The before just looks way more colorful. Looks better to me, and the other one looks more smoothed out. Looks like they took away a bunch of the colors, and it looks like looks a little bit cartoony, but that's just in my opinion.
I can see where and I can definitely see where you're coming from. It is a lot more washed out on all of the pictures. Although on Valkyrie, I prefer her newer face. It looks like she got a nose job.
Yes.
and they, I don't know, man. It does look better.
It does look a lot better. It looks like they made the eyes, you know, not like she's seen some shit. Like, oh my god, she looks rough in the before. But it was interesting to see that. I'd never even noticed that. And I guess we really never even noticed it to begin with. And this is kind of where the whole derpy face, even that's what UB Justin, who wrote this blog, said. Now, like I said, we never even noticed it in Season 1, Season 2, because there really wasn't any operators that showed their face. There wasn't anything that... They all were face masks or gas masks. We didn't really see it. Now, with Valkyrie coming out, we see all these stupid faces. And it's all related because apparently when you get shot in certain areas, you have a facial reaction to it. Like, you have a facial reaction. So with operators that show their whole face, they look really derpy, you know, and they went back to the drawing board. But I guess they're working on that. Now, something that's interesting is that we are doing Operation Health here, but this is not even coming out in Operation Health, actually. And because it says it will be coming out in Season 3. So they're working on this. But they're not releasing it in Operation Health. And that's what this whole thing is about. Now, are they working on the new operators now? I'm sure they are. But is that taking priority? Because where are the priorities now? These are all coming a year down the road. The map optimization's coming a year down the road, or in increments, every map from here on out. New character skin optimization. So this is the time they said they were going to be making the game better. Why are we waiting another year to get this stuff fixed? I mean, obviously you don't have the answer. I would like them to answer that.
I mean, stuff like you know, data cleanup on operators is what we were just talking about. That's Ubisoft's title for it. Something like that, I wouldn't consider Operation Health. I think of it more of a surface level detail. Like this is just the wax coating on top of our sweet ass ride, which is Rainbow Six. Well, this is just something that they're going to be working on, because let's be honest, this isn't programming. This is basically, I mean, there's a little bit of programming, but this is the art department, face rigging, that's animation department. Stuff like getting lighting reworked is both a side of art and programming.
Right.
But so like this stuff, which is like what any game does. We've seen almost every game do this, where they take their models, which they know they looked like shit or that they could have done better, and they replace them throughout the life cycle of the game.
Now, I would agree with you there, but the thing is that in this post itself, it does say that it was causing people to crash because there was too much stuff being loaded. Now, I would agree with you that it is an art thing. It is making it better, but the fact of the matter is it's offloading some of that to more evenly smooth out the mesh and how much data that's being used for the operators, but it is causing people to crash, and Operation Health is trying to fix the game, making it more playable, more optimized. So I would consider this definitely part of Operation Health, because again, this is the time to be fixing this game. We're saying season 3, this may be falling off. Now, you were doing some digging recently, and you came along something. Now, this is where I'm kind of conflicted, because are they going to do the same thing later on? Like, oh, we're announcing this. Now, first of all, I love the transparency that the game is giving. The developers are giving us. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. I like to know what they're working on, because this is my game. I'll play this game every single day. I like to know what they're looking at. I love the full transparency. I think it's a great idea. But something that is bothering me is that they're not talking about things later on down the road. So let's say they're doing this season 3. Are they going to forget about it until later because everybody's talking about the Hong Kong operators, and the Hong Kong operators aren't working effectively because things are going crazy? Well, now they back it off. And then what did we get for Operation Health? What did we get out of this? And now you uncover something that is very big in my eyes. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, man. I mean, in this, so I consider the thing like streamlining operator data to be superficial, because when we have something like this, which was 29 days ago posted by Epi, this is just after the deployment of patch 2.2.1, which was the patch before Alpha Packs, guys, if you cannot remember that.
What was the date?
And oh god, the date, it doesn't actually say. It just gives me the time ago that it was posted. But it was about Ubi's transparency with peer-to-peer connections and their server status and the upgrading of servers, or when that was supposed to come. So Epi's exact words were, "We will be addressing this in the coming weeks." So basically that was a month ago. 29 days, we're talking about a month ago.
Right, that's a long time ago.
Right, we've heard nothing on it, and that's something that's really, really important. I think we've seen the servers kind of just go downhill over that month.
Yes, we have. We've had my ping especially, going from West Coast to East Coast America, goes from 120, but the other day it was 180, and it was consistent 180. Now that wasn't my internet, because we connected to another server, and then it went back to 120. But the same things happened throughout. Now, to me, Operation Health, the servers need to happen, because it's a big thing. I mean, we're talking a 60 ping difference, and connecting on the East Coast, 2 different sides. I mean, it doesn't matter. Even on the West Coast, I live on the West Coast, very far West Coast, and I have a ping of 80, a consistent 80, and I live in a huge ass city of 1 million people. Okay, now 80 ping on my own servers, that's ridiculous. That's
garbage,
insane.
to be honest.
It is complete garbage. So where are the servers? We haven't heard anything about it.
Well, not only that, but not only where are the servers that we were promised originally? We were supposed to have 60 tick rate servers. What we really got in return, right? We got 50 tick rate servers, and then they said, "Oh, we're actually going to be bumping it up. Aren't you excited?" No, I wanted it to be 60 in the first place.
Right, because you said it was 60. They didn't tell us it was 50.
Exactly.
They said it was 60. They were having problems, and then they stealth nerfed the servers essentially, and no one knew about it until they confirmed and said, yeah, they're 50 tick rate guys. And we're like, wait a minute, what? Like, oh, is this why we're having some problems? And then like that was the end of it. And we're not getting any of the stuff that really matter. I mean, in my opinion, like alpha packs are great. You know, the Hibana bug was needed. It should have been fixed a long time ago. But the main things, they're saying that they're going to be season 3. Like lighting has been worked on since the game was released.
This is going to be like the 4th time, I think.
But nothing's changed. I remember when the game came out, and then when the game now, and especially on console, there's no difference. There's absolutely no difference when you look outside. Right. It's the exact same.
On console especially, yeah.
Yeah, and where is those fixed? You said that they were going to happen, 4 times. They literally said in patch notes, lighting is now better. Lighting is now fixed. Lighting looks good. They've said that time and time again, and this is the 4th time.
That's a big problem with this engine as well, though. This engine wasn't optimized to be a shooter. This engine, when utilized properly, gave great levels. It can really do a good looking game, but it's not meant to be in and out, light, dark, in and out of buildings. We're going to change the lighting. We're going to try and have dynamic lighting. So, I mean, it sucks. Like, this is the 4th time. That shit should have been fixed. It should have been fixed.
Now,
but this is also the problem with not having a good engine for this shit.
Now, I guess the lighting and stuff, like you said, there's a drop off, because I know that there's parts when you go through a drone hole as well. Like if you're outside, there's an invisible wall where you can't hear anything inside, but then you tap forward a little bit on your drone, and then you hear everything inside, but you hear nothing outside. Now, there's a lot of drone holes that have that problem, so I'm assuming there's this invisible wall that is doing that lighting and the lighting effect and sound effect, which is definitely weird. So I wonder if they'll ever address the sound issue. I don't know if that's been a big thing, but I've definitely noticed it, especially on Border is the big one. There's a lot of little drone holes that you can crawl into, and you can't hear anything inside. I mean, I seen it on my stream. A doc runs right past me. I don't hear him at all. I see him. He's right next to the drone hole, but I don't hear him at all. And then I tap forward a little bit, and then I can't hear the helicopters outside at all. So it's definitely weird how the inside-outsides work. But I think you hit it on the head there. Maybe a Siege 2 requires a new engine. That will be Siege 2, not necessarily new operators.
And that's what I kind of get at when we look at stuff like map streamlining, operator streamlining, everything like that, where we can take what memory bank we are allowed to fill within the game and make it so everything basically costs the same. So it's easier for the game to run these operations. That will be Siege 2. Once everything is maybe 10 years down the line, once everything is in place, set, cemented, basically what they know they're going to do, that's when we may see that start of Siege 2 development. Now, remember, they're aiming for 50 to 100 operators total. So that gives us a lot of time to play with this game and to get to know it even better, and for it to change even more. Remember, we've only had like 1 UI change. Imagine 3 more happening. There's a lot that can change within this game.
Yeah, there is. I think a new engine would be kind of cool. I think if they decide to do that, the community would be loving it and hating it. I think in the long run, it'd be a good thing. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that now, because it's like I want all this stuff now. I'm being a normal consumer here. But I just worry, because it's a lot, on the table. But again, the game itself, I've said it time and time again, it's a golden egg. They can really make a profit off this game. They can surpass Counter-Strike given 5, 6, 7 years, maybe 10 years, and to compete with it given the time to push on it. And I think a Siege 2 would be great, but it would definitely be weird. Some of the things that really bother me with this game is that they're not focusing on gunplay. Now, I know a lot of the pros here, I would believe that they would agree with me. The gadgets and all these new operators and hitboxes, like everything, I guess hitboxes is included in gunplay. But the new gadgets, claymores, whatever that are coming out are fantastic. But when you have misaligned sights. I don't know if people in chat or on YouTube know what that is. When you have an ACOG that's aimed at something or a hollow and you fire and it doesn't go where it's supposed to, there are
especially
misaligned.
On that first bullet.
Yes, there are misaligned sights with the ACOG on specific weapons. Now, the same thing happens for the Bearing 9 with the hollow. It draw after about 10 meters, it drops down. So it's not even correct where you shoot. And a game, a shooter game, every single sight, everything should be 100% accurate. And if not, they should fix that first, because the game is about gunplay over gadget play. It's all about shooting. Mm-hmm. And if they can't fix that, this is something that was brought up, but it kind of died down, and there's no fixes to it. And I'm not a game creator. I don't make the game. I'm not an artist. I don't do anything. I use them as paint. I'm not the, I don't make this stuff, so I can't say how easy it is to fix. But it should be right up there with hit reg, in my opinion, because if you're aiming at something and you shoot and the bullet doesn't go where you are aiming at, then something's wrong. Now we're not talking about combat. We're not talking about shooting a person. We're talking about you shoot a wall and the bullet is not where the ACOG is. And you're like, what the hell?
That is the cornerstone of this whole game. That should work every single fucking time.
Every single time. It should be the cornerstone of this game. And I'm kind of worried that they're not even talking about that. Fuck lighting. Fuck all that. Get the gameplay, the gunplay sound. Get the ACOGs and the hollows on point, because they're not working. Get the hitboxes fixed, because we've already destroyed conversations on hitboxes. Give us our servers. Right now, I'm worried for the sake of Operation Health. The time is dwindling. For some reason that I don't know, I guess the servers were down. So they couldn't do Pro League, but the finals,
do Pro League.
They couldn't do Pro League. The finals are coming. The finals, winter is coming. It's coming, bro. And they always announce at the end of a Pro League what's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I wonder if they needed another week, so they took it to where the Europeans can't play this week, so they have to stretch it out another week.
I see.
We're getting conspiracies here.
No, all right. So from experience, though, the way that Pro League matches work, if you missed them, is you have to make them up, even if it's off stream. So even if you were supposed to be on that main stream time, within that week, if there's a next time you're going to be on stream or playing, you have to agree with the other team to play that match. Now, they may say, okay, we're going to have an ESL admin actually be in that match to watch it, or you just have to play it. Everybody submits their MOS files, and we're good, right? But so it's like, yeah, conspiracy. I'd want to believe, they have to push it back because something's not ready, right? That's how Ubisoft is. But I most likely would think that these guys would play their match just off stream.
We didn't land on the moon. I mean, yeah, I guess it's conspiracy theories. But hey, you know what? We can throw rumors all we want. It's probably not true, but it's kind of cool to think about. Like, man, maybe it's happened, because we really don't know the date of the Pro League. Now, time's ticking, and I wanted to talk about that earlier, that the fact that we're getting the stuff that, like, so they promised us 3 things, right? So what was it? Servers, hit reg, wasn't it? And what was the other one? It's the first one. It was something. They are delivering it, but they're not delivering everything. I feel like to me, Operation Health was a calm down, let's get the big things out and let's get it done, then we'll focus on the operators. Like, but I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing things are coming out in season 3. Why? Like, what do you mean? You said this is the season that this is happening. Why isn't this fixed now? You're like, bro, come on.
Right.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, no, I would be too. But it's like me waiting for my favorite movie. Now, like, if Deadpool all of a sudden was like, hey guys, guess what? Sorry, we have to push back this movie until 2019. And you're not going to get to see Ryan Reynolds' sweet ass again for another 2 years. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, you know what? That's okay, because I want that movie to be everything that it can be. I've already seen the first one. I already have a taste for it. And so I'm kind of using that as a I've already been playing Siege. I already enjoy this game so much. I can wait personally another month, 2 months, even 3 months for these types of issues, these very big issues to be solved, so long as they keep supplementing me with snacks here and there, with an operator, with a map. You know, it's not right. I don't take much. You don't have to do much to please me. I just need to fucking be distracted from the real problems long enough, right? It's like I'm looking forward to it being taken care of regardless. I do wish it could have been sooner. I wish that this map could have, I'm sorry, not the map, but this engine, it could have been easier to work with, that there weren't so many drawbacks. Every step forward was 2 steps back type situations. But you know, once it's all said and done, once this next season comes out, we should be getting our announcement at the end of August. That's when Gamescom is. So, you know, that's another month away. Hopefully we're going to see some bigger things that they're going to be announcing. Like here's
dropping it on us.
Right. Here's the meat and potatoes of what we've been working on during Operation Health.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. But again, I'm kind of being the everyday consumer, and I want it now. I want the new servers now. I want to be able to play East Coast with my friends and not have 120 to 180 fucking ping while playing. That's insane to me. Like now,
I agree. Yes,
it's one thing to play with 120 to 180 ping, and it's one thing to play on EU when there's no times and stuff. But like me as a player, I never really play 3-speed operators. I never really I don't even drop shot. I play Rook and stuff. So when I play these slow operators and I'm holding an angle, people wreck me because they see me way ahead of time because I have 180 ping. Like, what am I supposed to do, right? So
yes,
and that's on the East Coast. It's my own time. So like, I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do about it. I wish they would give me more servers. I wish they would give me 60 tier grade servers, and I wish they would decrease the ping limit. I think 500 is way too much. Hopefully they change that. But well, the servers are kind of crap. Wait, was it yesterday? The servers died for a whole day.
Yes, and that wasn't just Rainbow Six servers. That was Ubisoft in general. Uplay was down. You could not invite your friends. You couldn't join games with them.
Now, this is actually interesting. I want to talk about a streamer.
What's that?
Was it TimTheTatman? Big streamer, huge streamer.
TimTheTatman.
Tatman.
Yes.
Tatman.
Yes, he's got tattoos.
Big dog. 14,000 viewers all the time. Big streamer. I saw a clip from Cross of that he was shown, and apparently he went off on Ubisoft or Uplay saying like, why do we need to restart Uplay on PC just to get a fucking friend invite? The hell is that, dude? Now the funny thing is that I'm assuming that Ubisoft saw this because when you have a streamer of 14, 15, 16,000 people watching it and playing your game, you're going to pay attention. You're going to have one person paying attention. Now, Uplay, one of the big dogs at Uplay, actually asked on Reddit saying, please submit your problems that you've encountered with Uplay. So I'm assuming he made some rumblings about the game. And
I hope so.
I love that about that because if you guys have ever watched my stream, if you've ever tuned in, you have definitely seen me bitch about how I cannot get you, the viewers, because I play with subs every week. I have to restart my whole Uplay just to get a friend invited. Now, that's bullshit. That's some trash. That's some trash bullshit right there. Now, I'm hoping that they fix it. Who knows? It's not part of Operation Health because it's Uplay. It's not the actual game. But I'm glad that they finally are looking at that problem because that is something that takes forever, like, to redo. So hopefully they get that fixed. What else do we have on our list to talk about? You want to talk about the neat thing that Gordy found? One of my friends. I'll put his link in the description.
That's a very interesting little thing. So our friend Gordy, he found out that, at least on PC, guys, the PC only trick. Okay, I'm sorry to say that, but if you are on your screen after you win a game and you are trying to get an alpha pack, if you miss, you can keep re-rolling.
Now, we don't know if you can keep re-rolling and win. We don't know. That's not confirmed. We just saw this live on stream, and we were like, "What the fuck is this?" Right? That's crazy. So go ahead and continue. I want to interrupt. Sorry.
Yes, no, he's completely right. It's unconfirmed whether you can win off this. The current report is that it does not change the outcome. But so to enable this little trick, all you have to do is press Alt Enter.
That's crazy, and it re-rolls.
And it re-rolls, and it will land in a different spot. But so far, the report is that it has not yet hit and given an alpha pack. Right.
That's crazy. I wonder if I'll try that on stream tonight. See if that works. I know a lot of people are going to be trying that tonight. Like, Alt Enter. Hopefully, well, I'd like to see that happen. That'd be a cool little bug. You just keep getting alpha packs at 2%, dude. But we don't know if it works or not. I haven't played Rainbow Six in the past 3 days, and we found that out yesterday. I've been playing another game.
Literally.
Yeah. So, but I think that's it for today. We talked about the new operator leaks. We talked about the lighting, map, and character optimizations. Definitely the weapon size not being aligned. Uplay being a piece of shit. The 24-hour booster that we got because the servers are down. And my man Gordy hooking it up. And then also the servers. Everything, ladies and gentlemen, will be down below in the description if you want to skip to that part. Obviously, if you already made it to here, you've already listened to it. But anyways, on Twitch, I'm letting you guys know if you want to rewatch it. I'll put the times on there just like normal. And everybody that we've talked about, they will have a link in the description for you to watch or see for yourself. And with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and close it off and talk to Twitch, answer some questions for Twitch, and see what they want to say. We didn't get any donations that asked a specific question, so that's why I didn't answer them or talk about them yet. So with that, guys, we do this every single Friday at 10 p.m. Pacific time here on Twitch. GameAddicts, do you have anything that you want to say for the YouTube audience other than a little shameless plug? Go there.
Oh, go there. YouTube.com/GameAddicts. Go there. No, it's been exciting that we're wrapping up towards finals and that Operation Health is there. So thanks for sticking with us, guys. We really appreciate it.
Yes, it is. It's a very difficult time to make content or talk about things. We'd like to bring you the news about whatever happens the whole week. And then Friday, we want to break it down and give you our opinions and maybe listen to your opinions if you want that. So with that, YouTube, this will be posted every Sunday, just like always. You can come Friday live on Twitch. You can ask us questions, whatever you want to see, or you want to ask us anything, we'll be here. And with that, I'm your host, Microwave Gaming.
And I'm your co-host, GameAddicts.
GameAddict boy. And we are the Best Buddies Squad. Thank you so much for listening to the Q Simulator podcast where we're still waiting for a fucking game. Good night, ladies and gentlemen on YouTube. Take it easy.